Please remain seated, everyone. What on earth? Rasheeda and Karlie's present universe. Pay attention to what you heard. I simply walked out. Utter barbarism aimed at Yandy and Kimbella, and the scene appeared to be taken from a soap opera. You thought the opera's portrayal of their conflict was real. Is there anything else strange that might happen? Rethink your thought. The most recent incident has intensified the dispute to a whole distinct level, and you are aware of Yandy's videos were taken of cries for help. Since you must see it to believe it, let's face it. Did you really think these reality stars would not be nice these days? What could have led to this situation? Weird fight. Did they have a history of conflict? Did someone simply lose it, or was there betrayal involved? The stress of their ongoing, dramatic existence in any event, the number of conspiracy theories on the internet is increasing. Theories, and we have inside knowledge. Note, spoilers regarding the actual events. This is not what you anticipated. Grab some popcorn, because we're about to start. The details from serious attacks to the kind of yelling that complements this. I assure you that you will not want to miss this disaster. These storylines have become increasingly popular. It's obvious right away. Hold on tight, because we'll disclose every one of you didn't understand the need to hear. Would you like to set the scene? It was supposed to be an ordinary day, and individuals were continuing to live their lives, ignoring that the reality television sector is a disorganized mess, and the continuous conflict and relationship of hip-hop artists. But all of a sudden, the unthinkable took place between Rasheeda and Karlie, two of the most notorious characters in the game. They truly went crazy for Yandy, and yes, Kimbella, you heard right. Rasheeda and Karlie, who have been endure the drama for a very long time, then abruptly came to the conclusion that enough was enough. They were not only teasing one another anymore. No, this was excellent material. Let's all back off a bit. The one with a beef history is Rasheeda. Introducing nearly every star at ultimately, she has also come across her a significant number of public scandals and bitter arguments. But this was Rasheeda, though, has been perceived as the lady who could provide for her ground, the person who remained avoiding a fight. But when Karlie noticed that the Karlie is a woman who is basically famous for exemplifying the walking, when the scene becomes intense, everything changes. We'll go crazy, and who knows? Remember Yandy Smith? She's the one. Making an effort to use mediation to settle the dispute, trying to keep the turmoil under control. But it seems like she may finally have pushed the wrong buttons, because everyone knows you can only do so much before feeling overburdened, and that's exactly what happened. Yandy was the last person anyone likely to participate in any. She is in the middle despite the chaos of a vicious attack that was overlooked. Coming, what caused it to begin, and why did it start? Kimbella is caught up in the tornado of chaos. This is where things truly begin to turn into fascinating. Let's talk about the backstory, because rest assured, this isn't unexpected encounter between Karlie and Rasheeda. There is a lot of disagreement between Yandy and Kimbella. Return is not enough to just get out of bed in the morning. Decide to treat someone like a barbarian. It would be impossible to avoid a buildup, would it? When the drama on reality TV doesn't simply happen, and it's handled carefully. Expanded over time with the help of historical dislikes, miscommunications, and of course, common emotions of jealousy. To genuinely understand the reason behind this, let's have a look concerning Yandy and Rasheeda's relationship. This had existed from the start. The underlying disagreement between the two shurs. They had pretended to be polite on the surface, but we all know what happens. Rasheeda's private life has continuously felt as if she had encountered Yandy. You've heard the classic, but who's more? Which contest is more prestigious? Add a little Karlie drama to the combine, and a ticking clock is the result. Kimbella, it's a time bomb. For years, it becomes incredibly fascinating. Kimbella has been the one who has surpassed by the other individuals on the proof that she is the one who consistently seems to become entangled in other. She never gets the turmoil that individuals are experiencing. Chance to shine up until this moment. Kimbella's involvement in this case. The vicious assault was no accident. She's remained in the background for some time, although she seems to be moving closer to show initiative when everything transformed. And then suddenly it was not just a disagreement. Was it just a furious dispute? No, Rasheeda and Karlie went all out. angry mode on Yandy, Kimbella, and what's even stranger about this is you actually heard Yandy begging for help. The woman, Yandy, is right. Had total authority over every situation. Was caught off guard, and then it was, consider the situation that resulted in her requiring help. Someone is listening to you, thinking everything is fine, and then all of a sudden, Rasheeda and Karlie Red explode like two. The animosity, the ticking time bombs, and personal attacks, taunting and everything struck Yandy and Kimbella with a lot of bricks in some circumstances. You can't prepare yourself for the kind of situation that, considering everything, Yandy, she didn't anticipate being surprised by her. The faces when everything fell apart were invaluable. And honestly, a little frightening. The reality of the situation hit her hard. But we can't ignore Karlie Red's. This woman had nothing to do with this madness. Just talk to someone. Unfortunately, she is ready to. Karlie has always been a good example. That unpredictable, colorful temperament. But when she and Rasheeda teamed up, as usual with Karlie, it got really complex. Participated in the play, a master of trials, so when she was given taking part in this conflict, it didn't merely increase, it exploded. The chaos, the tension, the pure intensity of the moment was like witnessing an action movie. Developing in real time. But why did it get so out of control? Was it because of old disputes or something more serious? Here, something more personal is taking place. More erratic actually, there are several. We don't know, which is exactly why. This is such a fascinating story, Yandy. Rasheeda, Karlie, and Kimbella have been in the game for a while, but perhaps engage in video gaming, the incidents that took place and that a single lightning strike might set the setting for the drama that comes only once in a lifetime. This is not a small number of isolated incidents. The cause of this assault was years of repressing tension and a persistent hostility toward everything which existed between these ladies after the passive voice, the comments, and the years' hostile behaviors, including backstabbing. When it was all over, it wasn't only about an argument that persisted for years of repressed emotions at last coming to the surface, and Dot was being watched by all. The part that follows will look at the chaos that followed this savage attack. What actually happened in the background. What transpired after Yandy's demands for "let's dive." The sound of help echoed through the atmosphere. Seeing the happenings, reactions, and the drama that was widely shared on social media. But for now, let's unwind and enjoy everything. This unanticipated event, this is simply the beginning individuals, so we're already deeply. While Karlie Red and Rasheeda are at odds, savage attack on Yandy and Kimbella wasn't a singular incident, folks. Oh no. This developed into something much more significant. More than anyone ever imagined. After making that shocking announcement, that the internet was ablaze with reactions, Yandy called out for help, but they were unable to simply echo throughout the room. Had a social media effect. Websites that allow both lovers and criticism to start analyzing the event according to their own interpretations. Of what happened, let's look at what transpired shortly after the confusion. People were shocked, and when I stated startled, I mean utterly surprised, in a culture where reality TV stars are continuously action-packed and dramatic, this particular. But that one incident had an impact on the entire fans of Rasheeda and Karlie Red. Didn't just hit, rather, they went after according to them, the pure venom, the justification for their actions. It was a heated argument. This was no small argument. Disagreement or mocking. No, this was obvious, tossed around. Attack, and it left the area and the community. The media couldn't believe it. Let's talk about this. About the repercussions, what happened, the moment the cameras stopped rolling. According to those who were in the vicinity, they truly are pure and genuine. For dramatic effect, the room was arranged. Picture this chaos between Yandy and Kimbella. Attempting to interpret what transpired. We were shocked to discover that you could almost hear, in the skull, the wheels were spinning. Have you simply happened? Is this something real? But this is the what actually happened wasn't what. As one could expect from these television personalities, actually, Rasheeda and Karlie Red weren't just acting out of proportion. Well, keep in mind that they had a purpose. Their fundamental animosity toward one another and Yandy, the one that had been building. It turns out that it was down for years. Everything pertaining to insignificant drama or small disputes. No, this happened because of something. Much deeper sources who are once again entirely reliable suggest that Rasheeda's Yandy's rage was about more than they were only small-scale or commercial conflicts. In terms of respect, Rasheeda had been making a significant effort to create, thinking of oneself as more than a reality TV star. But as a successful businesswoman, she had established businesses, introduced lines, and been putting in a lot of effort when Yandy was doing well. Yandy appeared to be a little more squeaky. To put it mildly, Rasheeda believed it was clean. Yandy was continuously depicted as the perfect one, the individual who was constantly acting as a peacekeeper and being given the backs the well-known acts. Rasheeda was at her breaking point. She was completed in a supporting capacity, and when you and Karlie have been playing the game for the same length of time, Red and Rasheeda, could you both? It's like the ideal storm, you know. Include Karlie Red's usual turbulent, adding unpredictable vitality to the blend, and you have this huge explosion, Karlie. Recall that it has never been located. Because of her, kindness has become an art form of provoking disagreements, starting disputes, and keeping the whole atmosphere dirty. So when she saw Rasheeda becoming irate, jumped in. Karlie makes the gesture while there's chaos, she's right. Near the head of the line, producing. Yes, everyone is aware of the authoritative people, but it's impossible to ignore Kimbella's role in this. She wasn't just passive because of this. In all of this drama, keep in mind the bystander. It's she who regularly shows up on the sidelines of the show, while the others attracted a lot of interest. Kimbella has been given the opportunity to illuminate the back burner, but she was taken out right away after into the misunderstanding. She showed that she declined to just permit Rasheeda, and Karlie made up her mind since she was tired. She was attempting to protect herself. But let's be honest, she wasn't fully prepared for what was about to occur. Karlie and Rasheeda were attacked. Mode, and it's challenging to stand there. Ground as the fury flares, what the heck, that was a smashing. The public viewed the responses as advocates will do whatever it takes to Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok will all fail. Giving a detailed account of the dispute, talking about meme theories and detailed bullshit about the reasons behind it all, we swiftly choose a side, and hashtag #TamYandy started to become more well-known faster than you might have thought. Reality TV, as well as every individual and their grandma, knew one person was right, and who made a mistake. But the issue is, what delighted the backers wasn't just the savage attack itself, it was the gravity of the situation. You see, fans be mindful of more than simply the drama. I like the way the analysis alternates between who's right, who's wrong, and how each the player of this reality TV game will. In order to move on to the next stage, everyone was observing, and they wanted to know if Karlie and Rasheeda are responsible for their actions, or would the whole circumstance wash away as another powerful illustration in the busy schedules of these well-known individuals. And the rumors got considerably more juicy after that. Began to spread because of you-know-who anticipates the truth due to the abundance of misleading information available. More humorous reports state that Yandy had privately been furious with both Rasheeda and Karlie for the attack, and she was allegedly talking to her lawyer. On what would be considered legal activity, Yandy is renowned for his ability to remain composed. A sensitive and cautious strategy has never took part in anything similar, learning that she was considering legal options which were essential. What meanings did they attach to this? Rasheeda and Karlie might run into some financial consequences of some sort would their deeds intensify the tsunami of criticism from the public that could jeopardize their occupations. That's what people were questioning, whether this is their last opportunity, or was this really another case of negligence that would eventually vanish. And don't forget about those who come back. Yandy, Rasheeda, and Karlie had the most. Some fans' vehement reactions included openly endorsing Yandy and claiming that kind of treatment shouldn't be tolerated by anyone. Meanwhile, others stood behind them. Rasheeda and Karlie said it was about in response to someone questioning Yandy's perfect persona. But in reality, the general views started to shift as more talk, the better they comprehended this. This was not an occasional tantrum. This was no typical reality TV battle. Had a strong emotional dispute that has substantial repercussions for how the general population views these women. Images dot in the section that follows. We'll go looking more closely at the effects of this terrible assault. We'll look into the potential legal and how this affects a person's professional life, drama, and ask the important question. Could Yandy is on her last year as the Is There Going to Be Another Mediator? An obstacle, please be patient while we find out about the consequences of this insane battle. Alright, so we've reached the spot where the dust is starting to settle, or is it a result of other people's trust? Outcomes of Karlie Red's and Rasheeda's. The attack on Yandy and Kimbella is only beginning. If you believe that this drama was going to end with a furious disputes and a few angry posts on social media postings, you'll receive a terrible. Come on, let's be honest when we wake up. Dealing with celebs on reality TV and in a group this delicate, things don't work. Just ignore the time when everyone's emphasis is on it instead of when there is a lot on the line. This is the offer. Yandy's appeals for help could have been the initial reaction. All eyes are focused on the fact that the aftershocks of that moment are far more damaging than anyone could have anticipated. The response from the public was crazy as hell. It wasn't just fans. Comments on Instagram. Oh no, the repercussions of this terrible attack were more powerful than life, and it started to spread like a fire. One of the first serious consequences of a lawsuit that's, after all, Yandy wasn't just relaxing and ignoring the circumstances. Sources close for her, who is currently fully reliable, claimed that she immediately contacted her legal representative after the dispute, requesting advice on whether were there any legal remedies available to Rasheeda. And Karlie was charged with assault. The case was a personal injury lawsuit can be filed on a number of reasons. Due to the mental distress it caused, there was a lot of speculation about the incident, and Yandy's followers came together to support her, motivating her to take action. Actually, a number of social media polls and surveys started to show up during fan fights. Maybe Yandy should file a lawsuit. Can decide whether to act or just let things go. Could you elaborate? Legal action on reality TV is nothing new. Emotional defamation lawsuits have been filed against celebrities. Tensions and even altercations that turned violent in the past, but this particular case is distinct. This was an extremely harsh verbal attack that was caught on film and broadcast on millions, implying it is not merely a physical injuries. The primary worry is the emotional toll of being publicly shamed on national. It's one thing to own a television fight behind closed doors, but while everyone can see the rage on exhibit. Everything is taken to a whole new level by it. When Yandy and other participants are present, who has continuously tried to maintain a clean. The stakes are the same in terms of neat appearance, especially now that there is a chance of legal action. What further consequences ensued? Let's talk about how the people responded, because not just those who admired Yandy were, no, Rasheeda's supporters, and Karlie was equally furious in the however, these women were already renowned for their bold personalities and no limitations. Fans' opinions weren't limited to consent to the hauling of their favorite star across the gravel, silently. So, which hashtags did we notice, like hashtag Team Rasheeda, Karlie, and even hashtag Team Rasheeda for President started to get more well-liked as persons to support the stars. Many fans banded together, bluntly declared that Yandy is deserving of her argument. Rasheeda and Karlie were just tired of her conceit, in that is to say, this wasn't just a dispute, a cultural divide existed between each side, making disparaging remarks and protecting their. What about the impact on your career, girl? You'd better think that this situation is real. Were long-term consequences, remember. Rasheeda has been working really hard at it, departing to look for work outside of reality TV, plans for a successful clothing business line, in addition to musical pursuits, but these days, in conclusion, even if her brand was attractive before the assault, but it turned into an increased dirtiness after the fight. Happens when individuals become aware of your brand. Is linked to turmoil. It's comparable to trying to sell a luxury product in the bargain store. It's just not the same. The name Rasheeda is increasingly being linked to. It will be more difficult the more violent it is. Should put a stop to the drama, and following that is Karlie Red, a lady with the foundation of Karlie's career was controversy. The entire persona is built on drama, chaos, and preserving the suspense of. In a way, one could claim that Karlie's brand is safer because in contrast to Rasheeda's repercussions, but even as events unfolded, Karlie was no exception. Rumors started to spread. Was there a more thorough justification for Karlie's involvement? Some claim that when the attack occurred, she was jealous. Of Yandy's notoriety, others said that she was trying to make a name for herself after her outsourcing by people like Rasheeda and others on the program. Anyhow, Karlie's actions not only created a stir, but also opened a fresh issue with the enthusiasm of the public regarding the professional fallout. But it didn't stop there. Behind the scenes, according to several accounts, Rasheeda was walking around with Karlie. To correct their images, sources claim they were trying very hard to move. The account of the incident that happened private discussions with their public relations division. Did they intend to compensate? Make amends with Yandy and Kimbella, or were they attempting to conceal their identities? It's hard to say for sure, but you should believe that the press was watching cautiously to see how it would all work out. As they say in the industry, there's no unfavorable press, but even in the world of reality television, there are limits. The extent to which bad press can be changed into positive press, after which the potential for a completely operational network. Supporter intervention, it's one thing to take part. This is another opportunity for the production team and the network to acquire, involved when a show like Love and Hip. Regarding Hop, there is a lot of dispute. There's always a possibility that the supervisors start asking questions. A reality TV investigation into will the network handle the situation and put pressure on the ladies who are taking part. Is it the right moment to switch to male fencing? The show's tension increases significantly more than in the past. It wasn't only the drama lovers want to know how far this dispute will have an effect on Will. There will be repercussions for the duration of their jobs, or will they be difficult? Everything is moving forward as planned. Finished, and we must remember the fans. Due to Rasheeda Karlie and Yandy, Kimbella has cleaned up the debris that has been created. Advocates have furthermore, they have added to the formula by raising the fire, supported their favorites, and generated new online advertising campaigns. But how, for what length of time can supporters continue to defend their positions? When these stars appear to be, our lives are becoming more and more messy. Will this be the last one tomorrow? The death of these women, or will they return in some manner without getting hurt? And even greater popularity than before the drama continues, one thing is for sure. Rasheeda, Karlie, Yandy, and Kimbella will be the names that have long been well known to the general public. The only person who can predict the future is you. You can be sure we'll be here to break it. Anything and anything for you. What do you think Rasheeda and Karlie were? Yandy was viciously attacked by Red. And is the Kimbella incident unique, or we don't know how complicated this scandal is. I wonder how long this drama will go on. Consequences on their careers, or let's let the public forgive them and move on. Share your thoughts in the space provided for comments. Down, being sure to press the like button. Click to see more amazing stories like this one make. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you always know the most recent shocking facts. Stay tuned for the next update. Hi there, hi there, hi there.